Hey guys, what's up? So I know it's been a little while since I've done one of these, but today I'm bringing you another best albums of video for my best albums of each year series. And today we're sticking with the 2000s and we're going to talk about the year 2008. And you know what? Looking back at some of the albums from that year, going back and listening to some of these albums from that year, there's actually quite a few albums that I still enjoy, and there's a few on here that I feel kind of don't get enough love. There's some on here that I would argue are still pretty popular to this day, and then there's a few on here that I guess kind of just slipped under the radar and kind of gotten forgotten to some degree. So down in the comments below, you guys know how this works. Let me know your favorite albums down in the comments below from 2008. And let's get started with my list. So at number 1, I have Taylor Swift, Fearless. When it comes to Taylor Swift, I think her first 3 or 4 albums are her best. Fearless being my favorite. And I still know every fucking word to the song Love Story to this day. If you put it on, I can sing the whole damn thing. That's arguably my favorite Taylor Swift song, especially from her country era. But yeah, I got Taylor Swift Fearless at number 1. Number 2, Nickelback, Dark Horse. I mean, what have I not said about Nickelback that hasn't been said already? I love Nickelback. They're one of my favorite bands. And Dark Horse, I feel like, is one of their albums that fans don't really talk about that much anymore, compared to albums like All the Wrong Reasons or All the Right Reasons, and what's another album? I would even say The Long Road gets a little more love than Dark Horse. And then I would say Dark Horse is better than Feed the Machine. But yeah, that's where I would put Dark Horse, as far as Nickelback's albums go. I think it's one of their best personally, but yeah. You got songs on there like Something in Your Mouth, Burn It to the Ground, I'd Be There For You, just name a few off that album that I think are really good songs. Number 3, Bullet for My Valentine, Scream, Aim, Fire. Definitely one of Bullet's best for sure. And I would argue is probably my favorite Bullet album of their early 2000s records. Number 4, Hollywood Undead, Swan Songs. I'm going to get a lot of looks for this one. I know a lot of people hate Hollywood Undead. I know there's a fan base out there for this band. I listen to Hollywood Undead still, especially their first couple of albums, and I still think that Swan Songs is their best album. Number 5, I have Theory of a Dead Man. Again, I'm going to get looks for this one. Chad Kroeger of Nickelback discovered them, signed them almost immediately after what he heard. And Scars and Souvenirs, one of my favorite albums from 2008, and it's still my favorite Theory of a Dead Man album. Number 6, Guns N' Roses with Chinese Democracy. Now, way back when, I didn't really pay too much attention to this album. I still think it's Guns N' Roses' worst album, and I'm sure many fans will agree with me on that one. But over time, there's some songs on it that I think are good, and definitely as the years have gone on, I think the album, for me, has grown on me, and there's some songs that I go back and listen to all these years later. The title track, Chinese Democracy, I thought was a good song. I've always been a fan of the song Better. Sheckler's Revenge, I thought was a decent song. IRS, I think that song's kind of funny. Definitely an interesting, song title and subject to write a song about. Scrape is a decent song. And yeah, so there's definitely some good songs on that album. Again, not one of Guns N' Roses' best compared to albums in the past during their heyday, but when you have someone like Axl Rose who doesn't really give a shit about anything, it's especially later on, there were lineup changes, there were multiple guitarists for Chinese Democracy that went in and out during the recording sessions, and there were even some guitar collaborations on the album that got completely scrapped, Buckethead being one of them. But Buckethead, some of his riffs got scrapped, but decent album for what it is, but especially for the year 2008, I definitely think it's a diamond in the rough, so to speak. Alright, number 7, Disturbed, Indestructible, one of my all-time favorite albums. I still listen to this album front to back, not skipping a single song. There's no skips on this album. I think it's a perfect album, and I think it's one of Disturbed's best albums still to this day. You have really great songs on there, like the title track, Indestructible. You have Facade, you have Deceiver, you have Parasite, which actually is a song that didn't make the album. I really wish it did, because Parasite is my favorite song from the Indestructible era. But yeah, really great album. Number 8, Lil Wayne with the Carter 3. Personally, I think Lil Wayne should have stopped the Carter series after this Carter 4. Carter 5 was decent. Carter 6, I don't even return to the Carter 6. But yeah, the Carter series from the Carter to the Carter 3, really good run of albums from Lil Wayne. And the Carter 3 is still my favorite in the Carter series all these years later. Number 9, Shinedown with Sound of Madness. This is still my favorite Shinedown album. I saw Shinedown live in 2018 with Godsmack and Like a Storm. And Shinedown, great live, great band. And their first 3 albums especially, I think, are their best. Sound of Madness being my favorite. Number 10, I have AC/DC with Black Ice. This is a solid album. This one is kind of forgotten about. It's not really talked about by AC/DC fans for some reason. I think there's some decent songs on it, and I think it deserves more love. Number 11, Slipknot, All Hope Is Gone. I know there's a fan base out there for this album. Pretty good album. One of my first Slipknot songs was Psychosocial, so there is some nostalgia involved with this record, and I still think it's one of Slipknot's better albums. Number 12, we have All That Remains with Overcome. 2 Weeks being one of my first All That Remains songs. I think Overcome is a good album. Sure, it's a little more mainstream than previous All That Remains albums, but I think it's a good one nevertheless. Number 13, we have Motley Crue with Saints of Los Angeles. The title track is pretty good, and then there's maybe a couple decent songs outside of that song on the album. But yeah, not terrible. Definitely not one of Motley Crue's best, but compared to what Motley Crue's been putting out lately, this album shines like a diamond in their discography. Number 14, we have 9 Inch Nails with The Slip. I don't really hear 9 Inch Nails fans talk about this album all that much compared to previous records, but I think it's decent. It's not terrible. Number 15, Kanye West, 808s and Heartbreak. This is my favorite Kanye West album, and I would say after the collab album with Jay-Z in 2013, Kanye has not been the same since. I don't think he's made an album as good as 808s and Heartbreak since this album came out. And I don't think we'll ever get another 808s and Heartbreak kind of album from Kanye again. This was definitely a, one and done, make it one time and move on to the next album or idea or whatever. But yeah, Kanye West in the early 2000s, untouchable, and out of his early 2000s material, 808s and Heartbreak is his best. Number 16, we have 6 Feet Under with Death Rituals. I think this was 6 Feet Under's last good album or decent album. After that, 6 Feet Under has just kind of been treading water at this point. But yeah, I think it's a good album. It's one of the band's better albums. And I know a lot of people say that 6 Feet Under sucks and there's no good 6 Feet Under albums and they're just a terrible band, but I disagree. So, there you go. Number 17, Alan Jackson with Good Time. I think this is a good album. And yeah, Alan Jackson in the early 2000s was still able to make quality country music, and Good Time is a great example of that. Number 18, Darius Rucker with Learn to Live. This is my favorite Darius Rucker album, and I think it's his best album. Last but not least, at number 19, I could have gone to 20, but I couldn't think of a 20th album to put on this list, so we're ending it at number 19 with Asia Phoenix. Pretty good album. I don't think Asia has ever released a bad album. Now, I am new to Asia. I got into them this year. And, yeah, pretty good album. And I think it's one of the best albums of 2008. So that's my list, guys. See you guys next time.